Felicitations! It is me, Felicia Day, and this is a podcast that I used to do when I kept up with it, and now it's 2 months later, and oh boy, I can only say I'm sorry. I looked at the upload for the last podcast, and it was 2 months ago, and it's my birthday this weekend, and so I guess there is a lot of guilt I've gotten on the Discord. If you guys aren't on my Discord, discord.gg/Felicia Day. It's a wonderful place where people chat with each other about video games, books, tabletop games, especially Animal Crossing, because I'll get into that in a second. But anyway, we have a good time over there. Please join the community. It's a wonderful place for people keep up with each other. And we do have a COVID-19 section just if you need to be brought down a little bit. Anyway, I didn't really think it would be still quarantine when I did this podcast again. But it is, and that's something to discuss, I guess. Shout out to Sean Sandaluki, who maintains a Wikia of this. It's at felicitations.fandom.com. He listens to every podcast, and he updates everything with links and all that good stuff. He's more organized than me, and he makes this a much more organized affair than I ever would. And I need not remind you guys it's been 2 months since I uploaded this. Now, I'd love to say there was a reason for that. And the reason was I just let it all go, y'all. I don't think I've worn a bra in months. I haven't shaved my legs. It's amazing how long your toe hair can get, like for real. And I know that's pretty gross, but just, hey, let's all just be out there. And, but, I haven't been lazy, okay? I have not been lazy. I kind of just gave myself permission to just drop anything that I was making myself do. And I think this is actually part, and I'll just, whatever, I'll get into it. So I've been in therapy a lot. As you guys know, I've updated. I got a new therapist last year. I've been in some intense therapy. I've really been trying to reconfigure the way I think about myself. And I'm on Lexapro, which is a anti-anxiety thing. And it really has helped me. And I've come a long way. And I realized that I was making myself do a lot of things that I didn't know organically that I wanted to do in my life since birth, okay? I've been a performer. I've looked to external gratification. You guys, I wrote a whole book on it. And I had somehow slipped back into this thing where I was doing things because I wanted approval and I wanted to belong somewhere. And that was the Hollywood thing that kind of got into my head. And thank goodness, I will say that a lot of bad things have happened during quarantine for me, but being disconnected from the Hollywood machine has really helped me reconfigure what I love and reprioritize where I want to put my efforts. And so rather than running around trying to catch every dangly, shiny object, I will just hunker down and just do the things I love, whether or not people want to get them or not, and not feel bad about myself if my creative things are rejected, because that's a business and I'm a creator. So I kind of just let go and I let myself do whatever I want. And I have rekindled a lot of really awesome things in my life. I don't know if you guys have been catching up. I've been doing D&D with the guild, the whole guild. We did a charity stream. I'm not sure when we did that actually, but we did this very successful charity stream where we raised a lot of money for No Kids Hungry. And then we decided we got a sponsor who came in and paid for 4 episodes, and we did this arc. And I have to tell you, it was a highlight of my week, just having fun with friends. I think that when I started Geek and Sundry, everything became a business, and I did it because I love it. And then other people kind of took over, Critical Role kind of took off with their D&D, and it felt like I couldn't really touch it because either I was trying to be an also-ran, which I'm not, or I needed to just give the torch to them for so many years because that's what we were building. And then I left the company and I felt like I was very alone for a while, and I went through a lot, as you guys probably know. I had a baby, everything. And I sort of kind of felt like I couldn't do stuff for fun. I had to get myself out of the mindset of like, you could do geeky things and it's fun. It doesn't have to be a business. I'd love to make a living doing the things I love, but at the same time, have some fun in your life. And then that will kindle the things that you got to and make a business out of, because you're starting with the right thing. And I guess that's what I always tell people when they want to be an actor, when they've been a writer, a comic book artist, whatever. I say, do you actually really love it, or do you need the end result? Do you need the praise of it? Do you need the success of it? And then maybe even if you get those things, you won't be happy because at the heart of it, you don't. Now, I read an article the other day about Pixar movies, and the basic construction of Pixar movies is a character wants something, they get it, they realize that's not what they wanted, and they figure out what they need underneath. And that is the basic, and it's wonderful because there's so many analysis of Pixar movies, but at the very basis of it is you think you want something, you think you want this career, you think you want this praise, you think you want this money, you think you want the fame or whatever. And then when you get it, you don't really need it. So I guess I'm in the phase of like, what do you need, Felicia? And what I need is community. I need to have fun creating with my friends, and I need to have some spontaneous free time to just be myself and wander around and not put the pressure on myself to output at the rate that other people do, output the things that other people want from me. And so I've had a really nice time just settling back into myself, and putting the podcast on hold was part of that, just to kind of just wipe my slate clean of all the things that I was doing. I'm really excited to be back, and I'm thinking about simulcasting my podcast on my Twitch channel because that's kind of what I've invested the last couple of months in, and it's so fun, you guys. Most importantly, the D&D thing has been wonderful, but I started streaming with Amy Okuda, and we do streams a couple times a week. I want to go back to single player too, so we're working that out. But oh my gosh, you guys, just having people in the audience watching, having fun, answering questions, enjoying time with friends, feeling like I'm part of something and a community. I think that I wasn't appreciating how lonely I was getting in quarantine. And especially I was feeling lonely because I didn't have that sort of online connection to a community. I didn't feel like I wasn't able to put the time or effort into creating a community again. And even though the Discord community and the Twitch community is much, much smaller than what I used to build with the Guild and Geek and Sundry, it's there. And the core of what I love is there. And that's all you need. It doesn't matter how big it is. You just have to have awesome people you want to hang out with, who you enjoy, you admire, who make you laugh. And I'm so blessed to have that in my life right now through live streaming. So I stream usually on Tuesday, Fridays, and Sundays. This week, I'm releasing this on a Thursday night. We'll be streaming Friday night and Saturday night on my Twitch channel. I usually announce it in the Discord, but I know it's not everybody's bag to watch somebody play a video game. I get it. So, but what I was thinking of doing is the podcast live so you guys could watch, maybe even throw questions at the end. And I don't know, I'm going to try it maybe next month, which I promise I'll keep updating. Anyway, okay, God, that was really laundry. I think I missed you guys. I really did. So, okay, let's see. I have not been lazy, okay? I have been working on a project proposal, which I just finished today, and I'm so excited about it. I don't know if anybody will want to do it, but hey, I did it. It took about a month and a half to start it and then finish it. And I'm hopefully going to see if somebody wants to make it. So that'd be cool. And if not, I love it. And I'll figure out some other way to do it. I also upgraded my streaming equipment. I'm going to talk about streaming a lot because I put a lot of time into it. I upgraded my camera and it's so beautiful. I put so much work into researching the right camera, the lenses, the lights, the mic. I got another mic. I built a voiceover booth in my closet and got a special mic for that and set everything up with a hardwire. So I've done some voiceover jobs and auditions from home. I've been doing the streaming thing, and every time I Zoom, you guys, with this new camera setup, everybody is jealous. I did a little birthday thing for somebody who was overseas, and there were a bunch of actors in there too. There were about 10, 15 people, and the topic of conversation was my camera setup. And I have to tell you, every single actor afterwards texted me. I was like, how do you do that setup? And a big shout out to Toronto Gal 80, who helped me figure out the configurations on my camera, because I didn't do the research. She did it all to make it look awesome. And Amy Okuda actually just upgraded her camera too. So if you watch either of us stream, we're pretty amazing looking. I will tell you that. It actually makes me feel guilty when I don't put a full head of makeup and curl my hair on my head, because it's just a lot. There's a lot of resolution there. And it's all like bokeh in the back. It's like all sort of dreamy. I don't know. I love it. And you know what? Just being able to do the tech thing and like hook things up. And I ordered some RAM for my Mac and I installed it myself. And I know it's really simple, but I don't know. Just getting my hands dirty in that way. I've also been working on producing a couple of little videos that just with my friends, and that's really fun. I don't know when those are going to be out, but It was just fun. I have been rejuvenated in several areas of my life. I just really hunkered down and tried not to, again, not try to please everybody. I just invested in the people who I want to work with. And I'm so lucky to work with the Guild people. Sean Becker, the director, is behind the scenes of the D&D. And my friend Ryle Koppel, and all just all the people. So I've been doing a lot of tech research and building out of that stuff and working from home, writing. I do have to say that I have a problem, and I need to deal with it. It's an Animal Crossing addiction. Oh boy, you guys, it is bad. You know how you get your screen time on your Apple phone at the end of the week, and it's like, oh, you spent 3 hours on the phone, and it's like, okay, if I get under 3 hours, I'm lucky. But boy, I don't want to see a clock on the Animal Crossing. I have gotten obsessed, and it's peer pressure, you guys. I didn't want to play. I was like all about Stardew, and then I picked it up, and it's so fun. And you know what? The funnest part is going to visit other people's islands, decorating, all the creativity you can put in there. I have a secret casino. I have every single one of my islanders is getting like customized yards. I'm super into it. And then I will remind you guys, I was the self-righteous person who didn't give my daughter any screen time ever, and she's 3.5. Oh boy, has that gone out the window. She gets an hour a day of TV, so she gets 2 Daniel Tigers or a Sesame Street. And then twice a week or 3 times a week, she gets a movie. And I, of course, had to get Disney Plus because what else am I supposed to do here? I want HBO Max, but I can't hook it up to my TV because I want the Miyazaki films. But then I showed her Ponyo yesterday, and she freaked the heck out. She was just in hysterics, so I had to heal that wound with a Mickey. You never know what's going to set her off, right? She can watch something super scary, and then if it's one character that loses her limbs or their mom goes away, it's like, I don't know. She watched Totoro and no tears. So I don't know. What was the deal with Ponyo? Anyway, so we watch a movie, and I'm really careful, and I don't want to show her Snow White or Sleeping Beauty or any of that because, honestly, the message of that for girls is not good for me. But, we watched Moana and Frozen and The Princess and the Frog, and she loved Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. She's watched 3 times. She refuses to watch Winnie the Pooh for some reason. I'm just like, come on, man. You're a fool. But I love her. She's really cute. And, and then, okay, so that happened. I opened the door to that, and then I was playing on my Switch, and of course she wants to look over my shoulder, and she's allowed 15 minutes a day of apps in the morning. It's mostly Con Kids and spelling apps and endless alphabet. So teaching her to read and count, and I have, also screen time is defined as non-accompanied looking at a screen. So if you're looking at a screen with your child and interacting with them, that's actually not classified as screen time. Look up the definition, and it's actually, I felt a little bit better. So that's why I let her play Animal Crossing with me a half hour a day. Listen, and it got crazy, y'all, okay? Because, I got a little obsessed and terraforming, and then I'm all about them areas. I have a bookstore. I have a seafood restaurant. I have a coffee shop that looks very much like something at a Friends from the late 90s, which, I went to college then. It's fine. Early 2000s, mismatched couches and all that stuff in Austin. And so, and then she wanted to create her own character, so I created her character, and then she wanted a house. So I got her a house, and of course, Mama has to subsidize her. This is where inherited wealth really comes in because I was able to give her 5 million bells, and she had a full house immediately. I had to bring myself up from my bell straps. You know what I'm saying? I had no one giving me a handout, just like in real life. I'm a self-made woman. But, Calliope. And then all my community came over and gave her flowers, and she loves black and white and pink and gold. And so she basically moved in. Okay, so in my own house, I gave her the top bedroom and the top in the basement. And as you know, if you know Animal Crossing, those are the biggest rooms. They're twice as big as the other rooms. So I gave her half the real estate of my house, right? And then she wanted her house, and I fully upgraded her house. And I was like, hey, why don't we get your rooms out of my house, okay? And then she's like, no, I want them there. So she has a fully upgraded house, completely full of furniture that I've given her. bought with the bells that I gave her. Although she is fishing a lot now and selling fish, so like I'm okay with her. She's actually making a living now. I always make her sell things and make her own money. She loves money trees. I'm going into way too much detail on this, but I can't help it because this is literally my life right now. It's the highlight of my week is to play, of my day is to play half hour of Animal Crossing with her. And so she has a fully upgraded house. And so not only does she have a fully upgraded house, she has the biggest rooms in my house, fully upgraded, decorated. She wanted a bigger yard for flowers. So I had 3 little houses in a row. I had to move 2 of the houses. So she's got a triple lot on my island, all full of flowers and a saber-toothed tiger statue. Because she went to there's a little museum in LA that has a tar pit, and she saw these saber-toothed tigers that got caught in the tar, but like they had little statues there of them and mammoths and stuff. It's very cool. If you ever go to LA, definitely check it out. It's very unique. And she saw them and she's obsessed with saber-toothed tigers. So I got the extra fossil of that and put it in her yard, and ecstatic. So I don't know, man. And of course I could say no to her, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to say no to her. So anyway, yeah, I've just been obsessed with this game. And like now I'm at the point where I'm like giving every single villager a function. I just got rid of one of the villagers I hate more than anything, Sherry. Like literally minutes before I started this podcast, I moved Tia in, who's a little elephant teapot. And all day yesterday, I was decorating Sherry's yard for Tia, and Sherry just kept walking around, staring at me, like watching me scrape up the lawn and do matching tile that matches Tia's face. And I'm just like, Sherry, don't make this harder. This is like a breakup, but you don't really know about it. So anyway, she's gone, and I'm not sad about it at all. And I need to stop talking about this because if you don't know this game, you're just trying to shut me out at this point. Okay, what else did I do for people who don't play Animal Crossing or care about video game streaming? Which that was the last 15 minutes of this podcast. Hey, I've been baking, and I've gained 7 pounds, and I don't really care. The problem when I eat sweets, I do get acid reflux, as you guys know, ad infinitum. I have been talking about my acid reflux my whole life, so that's kind of annoying. So I feel bad about that. But at the same time, I love baking and I can't get out of my house. I'll go through phases where I'm like, I never want to leave my house. And then over a weekend, I'll be like, get me out. So we'll go to the beach, but like half the people aren't wearing masks. And she's a baby. And, I have immunocompromised friends who literally cannot go out of their house. Their kid is immunocompromised. They don't know what they're going to be doing except staying in their house forever because cases are shooting up. So please just wear your mask. It's not that bad. There are many different kinds of masks you can wear. Just please do it for the kids and the people who just need to go to the grocery store so they don't starve to death. I mean, come on, guys. Anyway, I know you guys are all wearing masks. We're good. We're all good people, right? So anyway, I've been baking every day. And that was a terrible segue, but I've been baking pretty much every day. And I kind of stopped. I'm limiting myself to 2 baked goods a week because I was literally every other day baking. But I have found the best recipes. So, I mean, you guys know I love my Instant Pot, right? Naturally. So I love my Instant Pot, and I've been making vegetable broth in it, which is actually a lot easier and lighter than regular broth. So, and it's so easy. You just cut up a couple onions, 3 stalks of celery, 3 carrots. I really like parsnips in it because it actually makes it taste really good, and like a whole thing of mushrooms and some bay leaves and parsley and peppercorns and a little bit of thyme. And then put it in there for 20 minutes and you got this amazing broth that you can make rice with. You can make, I've been making risotto a lot. Oh my God, it's so delicious. And that's kind of been my passion in the savory, but like now I'm transitioning to more of a dessert situation. So I urge you, if you are really, really hungry, go to Smitten Kitchen and cook the olive oil chocolate cake, or B, the peanut butter brownies. Oh my God, they're so good. Or C, from the New York Times on Wednesday, May 20th, see if you can get it out. They have a recipe for peanut butter blackberry bars. And I am sorry, they are literally the best thing I've ever eaten. It's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to the nth degree. So I will try to put the link in my description, but May 20th, New York Times. So that's why I've gained so much weight, and I don't care. I mean, really, what do we do? What do we do in this world? We gotta do. I've been walking around a little bit more, whatever. For TV, okay, let's get into stuff. Gosh, I've been talking way too long. All right, books. I have literally been reading Herodotus Histories for 2 months now. Now, granted, I haven't had a lot of time to read because I've been streaming and playing Animal Crossing and putting the baby to bed, and I've been tired. So I have not been reading like I should, and that is something that I'm going to rectify. I have 2 books that I'm going to be reading called The Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden and Golidlocks by Laura Lam. Those are the 2 things I have on the docket, but I'm still reading Herodotus Histories. And this is like written in 500 BC. And it's crazy that we actually still have this book that is basically sort of a travelogue and history lesson by this guy. He's the first person to kind of tell, or that we know of, to try to tell the history of people and wars and areas, and he traveled to Egypt and Syria, where modern day Syria is, and all these places, and he's giving you this minutia detail history that could be boring, but he says it in such a gossipy way. And what's interesting is when you read this old stuff, again, it's all very universal. I mean, you'll see something like an incel comment he does. It's like, it's clear enough, after all, that women are never abducted unless they are open to that idea of it in the first place. And I'm like, what? What did you just say? I get so mad. But then there's weird stuff that you pick up, like he was describing this festival of Dionysus. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry. And basically Dionysus, or whatever. I'm going to say Dionysus, and if I'm wrong, correct me on Twitter. Dionysus is kind of like the bacchanal god and very worshipped quite a lot. And so he's describing the way the Greeks celebrate it. And he's like, the rest of the festival of Dionysus, the Egyptians celebrate pretty much as the Greeks do, except that they omit the choric dances, and then instead of phalluses, they have devised figurines a cubit high and worked by strings. These puppets, which have penises barely smaller than their bodies, jerk up and down or taken round by women from village to village. A flute player leads them in procession, and the women, as they follow, sing a hymn. The reason why the penis should be so outsized, and the only part of the puppet to move, is the theme of his sacred tail. And I'm like, where's the sacred tail? I want to know why the puppets have huge-ass penises. So, like, there'll be weird stuff like that, and, like, people in Egypt whose cat died, they have to shave their eyebrows, and I'm like, this is fascinating. So, like, that part was so interesting. And then there will be something occasionally that you're just like, wow, this is super pertinent to right now. So, like, this is a quote about several people are, King Darius of Persia is trying, this is before he's king, and he's, like, arguing about what kind of government they should have. And so, whenever the people are in power, corruption is the inevitable consequence. What serves to foster this state of corruption is a commonwealth is the tendency of troublemakers, not to turn on one another, but rather to form fast friendships and to get things done by ganging up with one another and exploiting the common interest. So it goes on until in due course, someone emerges as a champion of the people and puts a stop to it. So I thought that was really interesting because given what we're experiencing right now, it's that a certain group of people will kind of unite and basically gang up and exploit the common interest, which is kind of like what's happening with the government right now. Like, you know, I don't want to get all political, but like there are a lot of people who are super corrupt right now, and it's very clear what they're doing is very corrupt and kind of perverting democracy for the sake of their own gain. And it's because cross sections of right-wing interests are kind of grouping up, even though they kind of don't agree with each other in a lot of ways. Anyway, I don't want to go off on that, but there is stuff to be learned from anything you read. And so I am almost finished with the book, and the best stuff was the penis puppet. Anyway, so those are the books. I'm really, really looking forward to getting to another book but it does put me to sleep. That's another one. That's another saving grace. For TV, I have not been I have not been doing very much at all either. I basically binged 2 seasons of Britain's Best Home Cooks, which is basically kind of like British baking show. Mary Berries is one of the judges, and it's for home cooks. So they do like desserts, but they also do entrees. They do 4-course meals, and it's really good, and everyone's friendly, and I highly recommend it for some comfort watching. If you like British baking show, this is very similar, and it's very fun. The rules kind of change between season 1 and season 2. in some weird ways, but I have no one to gossip about that with anybody, so I'll just say I love your opinion. I'm looking forward to Perry Mason. I have it on my DVR. I guess it started this weekend. And as you guys know, if you read my book, I'm obsessed with Perry Mason. I was in love with him. I wanted to be Della Street, his secretary, so badly. So I'm actually really excited. I mean, I read all the books. I own them all. So I'm excited to see the TV adaptation, even though it's on HBO and it feels like maybe they won't do it as pulpy as they need to. But I'm excited about that. So, I mean, what have I accomplished in 2 months? A lot. I mean, I've done a writing projects. I've gotten back to the things that I love, like online community again, streaming, all the tech stuff. I know some recipes by heart for the first time in my life. I can do broth. I can do lentil soup. I can do pancakes. That's about it. Anyway, let me do some questions before I get out of here. I should really have updated because I could talk for 5 hours. Rocket Soup asks, hi, Rocket Soup, Demetrius or Blathers? Demetrius is my love interest in Stardew Valley, and Blathers is the owl who runs the... Wow, this is hard. I mean, in a carnal way, I'd say Demetrius, but in a, like, BFF, I want to, like, spend the rest of my life with you, total Blathers, okay? I mean, not that I wouldn't want to get down and dirty with Blathers. I don't know. Demetrius is so dreamy, I can't even. He's my Thane. He's my modern Thane, because I was in love with Thane from Mass Effect 2. Anyway, okay, Farcemaster asks, hi, do you do a lot of self-audition tapes in your home? And with all the construction going on in your place, do you find it hard to find space? What type of lighting do you decide on? Oh yeah, thanks, Farcemaster. Yes, construction is still going on. We waited 6 weeks for DWP to come in and move a power line. So that was, and as you'll remember, DWP also spent 6 months not coming out to do a survey. They also have repeatedly stopped by to harass us about our meter. We are waiting for them to inspect. So if anything, if I ever sent a curse to anything, it would be to Department of Water and Power in Los Angeles. Please just let me finish my thing. I'm so looking forward to building my little studio. I'm going to have a little streaming area, a work area, a self-tape audition area, and a voiceover area. And for lighting, I have these Elgato Air lights that Elgato did send me for free. Full disclosure, they are beautiful. And they're so nice because you can adjust the warmth of them and the brightness from the computer. So it's super, super nice. Highly recommend all the Elgato streaming stuff. I have a stream deck that I haven't set up, but I'm excited to do some sound effects on. And you can even change cameras with it. So that's really exciting. And I still have my Canon 70D from like 8 years ago. And I will continue to tape auditions on that and do Zooms with my new Sony A6000. If anybody wants recommendations for the setup that I have on Twitch, just go to Discord and I can do a little sticky or something to show you guys what I bought. It wasn't an insubstantial investment, but because I love it so much, I was just like, this is giving me joy. Let's just follow the joy. And so I just loved geeking out all over it. Okay, next question. Monica the Lioness asks, not sure if you've mentioned this before, but how did you come to choose the name Calliope? Also, top advice for a pregnant lady and mom-to-be. Okay. Calliope was my partner's choice. I had Maeve, and they had Calliope. So he was like, oh, this is my favorite name. And I'm like, oh, that sounds better. And so we just decided Calliope Maeve because Maeve Calliope didn't sound as cool. My top advice for parents in general and moms-to-be. Okay, first of all, Monica, prepare to be a new person. Okay, you're going to become a new Monica. And I know that's weird to say, and right now you're probably like, I don't understand that, because I didn't understand when people said that, and people say, it goes so fast. And I'm like, it doesn't go fast, it just maybe, I think you get amnesia, and when you, in retrospect, you just are like, why is this kid so much bigger? But I will say, enjoy who you are now, because you will be forced to become a new person, a better version of yourself, but you will be forced to shed a lot of who you are now, so enjoy yourself now, journal, and really figure out what you want to let go of in your life to make room for your baby. Because I always say having a baby is like ordering a table offline, off an online site, and it's a perfect table. You'll never have another better table. But you get it and it's twice as large as you thought it was. So you have to start getting rid of everything in your house to make room for this beautiful table. And the table grows. So you have to keep getting rid of things. And then you start to get in the point where you're like, what am I left? Am I only this table? And you're like, no. But I am this armoire, and I can move the armoire over here, and maybe I can shrink it a little bit, and I'm going to get rid of all these other things because I really don't care about them. So, yeah, it's a home decorating analogy to parenthood, but I like it. And my other top advice would be check out Janet Lansbury. She's an amazing parenting advice person. I wish I could meet her in person one day. She has a podcast and 2 books that are very easy reads that give you everything you need to know about parenting. Okay. Ben, Greater X. Hey, Felicia, with the success of the Guild D&D stream the other week, is it something you consider doing again? Yes, Ben. I'm doing it again. I am doing it again Saturday night. And then we're possibly going to be doing it after a little break in July and August. So just check my Twitter, check the Discord. But we're doing a one-shot this Saturday, June 27th. It's the day before my birthday. And honestly, I was going to stream on my birthday, but I honestly, I knew my baby would get her feelings hurt if I didn't spend my whole birthday with her. So it wasn't about me at all. I guess, as a parent, that is one thing that the last couple months, and that's why I fell off the podcasting wagon, is because I just needed to figure out what I was outside of being a parent, which has taken over my life. And just the little sprouts, it feels like little flowers are sprouting places and they're happy and they're sprouting around where my baby is. But that's okay because all I need is just a couple little flowers in my life because she really is the star of the show. So anyway, yes, come on over. And I would love to see more of the Guild if it came, in D&D form. Yeah, doing it as a show, I don't know how we would do that. But doing it as D&D really scratches the itch, and it's so great to see so many people from so many years come together just to enjoy us. So come on over. Stephanie Houston asks, what's been my worst binge food while being stuck at home? Smitten Kitchen peanut butter brownies. And what is the first thing you will do when the stay-at-home is lifted? Wow. Well, it's been kind of lifted, Stephanie, and I don't know if it's lifted. I think they're going to put it back down. Like Los Angeles, I really want to go get my hair done because my roots, you can clearly see that I am not as red-headed as I would be. But I will say I have way less gray hair than I thought. I have like 10 gray hairs. And I thought with Calliope, I'm in denial. I always get my hair done. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have like one of those cool skunk thing that Rogue did. And I kind of was looking forward to it. But no, there's not that much up there. And my hair's kind of the same color. It's just a little bit redder. So I guess the first thing I will do when I stay at home is lifted. I will take my baby to the Children's Museum because she really loves it. Okay, Sarah the Pearl. This is the last question because it's a good question because Sarah the Pearl is asking something pertinent to another excuse why I didn't do a podcast last week. Can we please hear a story about Speed Bump the cat, Felicia, today? Okay, so Speed Bump is terrible. She's a very low quality cat. And she ran out in front of my partner's car and he saw someone hit her and he got out, got it, and she had a broken leg. So it cost us $5,000 to fix her leg. But she's an awesome cat and she loves the Lakers game because when she had a broken leg, he would watch the Lakers game and pet her while she was in a cast. So she loves the sound of the basketball horn. Anyway, but here's the thing. My vacuum got clogged up or something and she had some fleas and my baby was getting bites on her legs, on her ankles. And I was like, what is going on here? And Amy, who watches Calliope during the day, was like, hey, I pet your cat and a flea jumped off. And we defleed her. She had dozens of fleas on her, you guys. And I went crazy. I got vacuum attachments. I got flea powder. I mean, natural flea powder. But I literally vacuumed every single inch of my house. Every single upholstery. Every single pillow. I washed things 7 times. And I furminated her. And that was a really expensive thing, like this furminator brush. It was like $38, but like worth every penny because I literally could build another cat after combing. I mean, I'm addicted to combing this cat now and I've never paid attention to her. She's not my cat. We kind of coexist. She woke me up at 5 a.m. until I just lock her in the back of the house. And I'm so happy when I, place her in there. I place her gently, but she knows we're not BFFs. She's like the Sherry of my Animal Cross Island. But now I'm obsessed with petting her. So she's so sleek and self-righteous right now. Ugh. So that's my story, how I defleed my house last week and didn't update the podcast. So the story is Speed Bump is the reason why this podcast isn't 46, not 45. Anyway, gosh, you guys, I could go on for hours. This is the podcast. And I will be uploading. I don't know if I'll do it weekly, but I definitely will go back to bi-weekly, I promise. And I may do it as a Twitch stream and then record it and then upload it later as a podcast. I think I might experiment with that because that sounds like a fun time. And I can maybe interact with you guys a little bit longer. So anyway, thanks for supporting. Thanks for participating in everything that I do. I'm working on a couple. I'm jumping into another rewrite of that huge writing project that I've been complaining about for the last year. So hopefully that will see the light of day later this year, and I'm very excited about it. So that's actually good. So things are good in my end, and I urge anybody who it's not good to please seek some help. Go to your GP, go to your therapist, go to your friends. Make sure to reach out. Everybody needs a feeling of community in their life. And I know single people, I look at you and I'm jealous of all the free time that you've got. But at the end of the day, you're probably feeling this a lot harder. And so online community, not in-person community, but over phone, over FaceTime community is very, very important. Even if you don't know it, underneath connecting with other people really will get us through this. And wearing our masks. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you guys later. Bye!